Hello there.
I am the king!
Dracarys.
What's up, Headless Horde? Thursday night, Mando, episode 7, breakdown. Let's go. So this episode was interesting for me. I like the way it started. It got a little crazy. We're going to talk about this. I'll try to bring up some of the images here, too, so we can kind of look through it. Pretty good episode overall. I mean, you know, we'll see what Ryan thinks about it. Smash that like, and let's get this thing started, man. Let's just get started. I'm just trying right now in the background. I'm pulling up the episode. So I'm going to have to mute this, I believe. All right. We're good to go. All right. Ryan Milky, what's up, brother?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, yeah. I was just dancing backstage to your intro.
Yeah.
Finishing my donut, and then I just posted live to Instagram real quickly to let people know that I was live.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we have episode 7. Gosh, we only have one left. You know, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, how fast these seasons fly by. You know, I don't know. What did you think about this episode? It was okay for me. It was okay.
Yeah,
It
was okay.
It was better than last week.
Yeah.
This is one hell of a breakdown.
Dude, I can't hold it in. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It was one of the best episodes ever, and I've said that already this season.
Yeah, I was trying to hold it down too. Yeah, this was by far the best episode of the season. You know, and that's the thing, when Moff Gideon comes into play, the show's better. And it's funny. I was looking at IMDb. Take a guess at how many episodes he's appeared in 3 seasons. Just
4.
Well, close. It's 7. 7 episodes. Like, it's unbelievable that he's only been in like not even a third. You know, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I mean, some of these characters that are in the show, like, you know, I mean, Gina Carano was in it for 7. You know, but that was all. Well, I guess that was through the first 2 seasons, but. I don't know. I find it really interesting because I think his character definitely makes the show better. And to have to wait 6 episodes, basically, well, I guess 6 episodes, to finally see like the villain of the show, it's just weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
We've
man.
been trying to guess it all season who the villain was going to be and stuff, and we had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be him. I mean, he's still alive, and we didn't. And what it was, episode 5, I think we
Probably
saw.
5, yeah. The end.
Yeah, so I think my whole Sabine Wren thing is definitely debunked. I think I'm definitely wrong on that. So I don't know. What do you think? Who do you think rescued him then? What do you think?
The Death Watch guys, the ones with the. I don't know. It must have been. That's how they got the ship.
So they rescued him and just took his ship
As payment, because they said, we'll do anything for a price. And I think they've come across him and he's said, save me, and I'll give you the ship or whatever whatever communication they had. But
and now they, then we saw what happened in the episode. So they were basically responsible for the death at the end, in essence. Mm-hmm. So have you seen the rumors online saying that the armorer was the one?
I've heard that it was convenient that she decided to leave at the point at the end. So we're thinking, I've heard that she probably put them in that position. She's working with him.
Do you think that's true?
No.
Neither do I. I mean, I think at the beginning of the season, if I remember correctly, when we did our prediction show, I'm pretty sure I did say that I thought the armorer was going to end up being a bad guy. But I didn't think a bad guy as in, like, hanging out with Moff Gideon, right? I thought it was going to be, like, a whole other thing. Here's the thing. Because I watched quite a few videos today just to kind of see what people were thinking about this. And a lot of them were talking about the armorer. He hears an echo. That's because we're so pumped about breaking down the Clone Wars and echoes in it.
I do hear myself in my headphones. You have a good point, quick.
Did you fix it? I'm going to go look at my settings really quick, too.
Yeah, I don't think it's different on mine.
Oh,
it's gone. That's changed.
All right, so it should be better, right?
Yeah, a lot better. I can't hear myself.
All right, yeah. So, all right, quick, let us know if it's better. It should be better. What was I saying? Oh yeah, no, I was watching a lot of the a lot of different videos today on some of the people I follow, and I just don't think I don't think the timeline matches up unless they have literally been like working together since the beginning. But then you're telling me,
I can't see it.
Yeah, then you're telling me that she let him kill basically her whole group in like season 1. It doesn't really make sense. And the other thing is too, I just don't see how, because so he looked when what's her face? I actually wrote her name down because her name is a hard one to remember.
What if the armorer is actually been killed and someone else is pretending to be the armorer?
I definitely had thought about that. That's something I definitely thought about. And that's why
with this whole cloak and dagger thing. Sorry to cut you up. With the whole cloak and dagger thing, with him now having a Mandalorian suit himself and having that, you know what I mean? It's just and he had spikes on his helmet, and that's what the armor has also got.
Yeah,
and who else had spikes on their helmet? Maul. So I don't know.
Yeah. But I know, like at the beginning of the show, when Anzellan Crew, I think that's what her name is, Anzellan Crew. When she was kind of like, by the Imperial probe droid and she got the message and she was talking to him, he seemed like he was very shocked that the two clans had kind of merged because he's like, oh, I thought they hated each other, So I don't see that reaction by him makes me feel like I don't think the armor is with him. Now, does the armor have a different agenda than the rest of them? Maybe. I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going to happen.
I also think at the beginning there, though, like he seemed a little bit hesitant as well because we didn't already know by that point that he also has his own Mandalorian group. So he could have been questioning what Mandalorian group, because it could have been his. She could have said, oh, they were all in white armor. And then he would have known that it was his group that had caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that could have been a foreshadowing thing for later on.
Yeah. Like that's the other thing too. How did they learn how to make the Beskar armor? I mean, it wouldn't make sense if the armor is like, okay, they made some kind of deal and then she showed them how to do it. I don't know. It's
I have no
interesting.
idea, dude. I have no idea on the lore of how who can make it and who can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that either. I mean, I think you just have to know how to be a blacksmith for the most part. But I don't know, dude. Like, I guess I just hope I want something bigger than the armorer to be a bad guy. Like they to me they made it that's almost the too obvious way to go. And I hope that they do a complete flip. Because I'm actually.
So what do you want to do with her? What would satisfy you with her story?
I don't know. I want her to take her stupid helmet off already. I want that whole thing to be over with. And I mean, I guess if she ends up being, because here's the thing. Remember, the name of the episode was Spies, the plural. All right, so we have Enzelin. That's one. So who's the other one? Why would they call it Spies with at the S? So it has to be somebody else. I mean,
good point.
So it would make sense if it's her because it's the most obvious. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe they did it on purpose to flip something, and maybe it is somebody else. I don't know. It's interesting, dude. This is a crazy story, really quick. So like last night, I'm sleeping, right, and I remember this dream. I not hardly ever remember my dreams. I had a dream that the armorer took her helmet off, and it was Mara Jade. And then I'm like, wait. So Mara Jade, because she is technically an assassin for Palpatine in the old canon, right? And so she worked for Palpatine, and then when she was assigned to go track down Luke Skywalker, and that's when they kind of ended up having to fight together to get out alive of some situation. I can't quite remember, but and then they ended up falling in love. I'm like, maybe this is some crazy way that she's kind of like been inserted into the armor because the armor really did get killed. I think that would be the best way. Instead of the armor flipping, that the armor was actually killed and it's somebody else.
Yeah, it's somebody else. Yeah,
maybe
that's all I can think it could be. That's probably the best way to finish that story for me. Give me a flashback of the siege of Mandalore and what happened there, and just I don't know, show that she was killed, show that somebody decided to take the helmet and put it on, and I don't know. Maybe Moff Gideon has a sidekick, that's been working for him all this time, and I don't know. But if that isn't the case, and she really is just the armorer, and I still think that she wants to be the ruler of Mandalore. I don't think she's happy with Bo-Katan being the leader. She sent Bo-Katan out to go and collect everybody, but she still rules them all with the clinking of the hammers. She still feels like she's got that ownership of the group.
Yeah,
I think she wants power overall. Like get them all on Mandalore. But yeah, we'll get into it. I know we'll break down the episode. I know we've been a bit free for all at the beginning, like we usually are, but that's the best way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm not sure what I want to happen. Like what I think is going to happen is I think that they're just going to have the armor be bad. I'm hoping that they do some kind of a flip and it's not. What I want to happen is I really don't know at this point.
Yeah, well, you absolutely flipped it on me because I came to this live stream with no expectations as always, but never ever underestimate the fact that we've been talking about the armorer for 15 minutes. I'd never thought we'd come into this talking about the armorer after what we just watched. Yeah. That's a crazy topic to go with, though.
Right, and I was just kept thinking, I'm like, well, why would they name it Spies, and why would they only reveal? I mean, and Zelen and the crew she was only in the episode for like 2 minutes. And then we don't even see her the rest of the episode. So I'm like, well, who is the other one? Who's the other spy? There has to be somebody. I mean, it makes sense that they could let him right into there. I mean, the Empire was the remnants of the Empire was, on Mandalore. They were there. They were doing, building their ships and all that kind of stuff, whatever they're doing there. And I don't know.
Yeah.
What's up, Charles?
Pop in. Yeah, I had some continuity issue questions that might come up later on when we go through the breakdown. There was some I wasn't sure of. I was like, okay, but I'm sure we'll get to it. Yeah.
All right. Well, here we'll pull it up and we'll go through it.
Funko PDX, what's up, buddy?
What's up, PDX? How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you.
Dude, I saw you streaming today. I was gonna pop in, dude, and I was so exhausted. I ended up falling asleep actually.
Yeah,
I
I
saw
saw
you.
the title of the game and I was like, I really don't want to spoil that game. I really want to play it. So I was like, I
Yeah,
don't want to even
yeah,
see a single thing. So I will watch it eventually, but I want to get
yeah.
it.
Then dude, the new one comes out in like 2 weeks, and dude, I didn't even beat the first one. I don't know what I'm gonna
Yeah,
do.
I saw a meme. It was the kids play Hogwarts. When the real men come out, they play Fallen. I was like, okay.
I seriously have not turned the video game on in like 3 weeks. Yesterday, very, very briefly, me and my neighbor were playing I think it's called Sackboy. It's kind of fun. It's kind of like a Mario
Okay.
type deal, you know. Let me grab this real quick here.
Maybe spies means both sides have a spy, said Quickjaw.
Maybe spies means both sides have a spy. So if you are on the Empire side, who is the spy and for what reason? Because that's what I'm trying to think. Like, it doesn't really. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like. Yeah, I don't know.
Thanks, X-Man.
But this is a great shot, right?
Oh, loved it, dude.
Yeah, it was sweet. So after he meets with Anzelin through the little conversation, she basically tells him that we talked about this already, but she basically tells him that both clans of the Mandalorians have kind of come together, and he's again. This is really the scene that really got it for me because he's like he seems so shocked about it, and I was like. As I was watching the episode, I kept thinking the armor or something with the armor, and it just that scene. It just seemed like he was so mad. If he was that mad, like I don't know. That's why I don't think it is the armor, the spy. So
okay.
But anyways,
so first of all, before we get into it, where do you think that this is currently? Where is this?
I don't know. I mean, they don't really show much. They just kind of show him walking, right? Let me see if I can back it up a little.
So you don't think this is Mandalore, where we find it later?
I mean, he's probably on Mandalore. Yeah, I mean that's what I would think. Because
I'm just sowing seeds that I can then bring back up later with my point of continuity from a thing that was said.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's not on a ship. You can tell right by here it's not a ship. So I would assume he's in the caves of Mandalore. I would say he's already there. Yeah. And then we get a nice little Easter egg with the I keep missing it. Of course, I had it perfect before. So this is a nice little Easter egg. These are like the little beams that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon had to go through to get to Maul. Right. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, amazing. As soon as I see those, I was reminded of that.
So then they kind of meet. They kind of they're just talking about basically that they need to kind of come together and realize that this Mandalore issue right now is a big issue, and because they're kind of bickering back and forth, and I love this scene because I mean, did you notice that Moff Gideon doesn't seem to be a huge fan of Mr. Thrawn?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely does not seem to be a real fan of that guy. So that'll be interesting. I mean, I think down the road, Thrawn will probably just end up killing this dude. I mean, that's the vibe I'm getting.
I don't think he'll get to even see Thrawn. I think he'll be dead before the end of maybe season 4.
Yeah, that's interesting too. I heard another rumor today that they're talking about. So at Star Wars Celebration, they announced the 3 movies. So the first one is supposed to be the one with Rey. That's supposed to be coming out in 2025. And then they said in 2026 that they're expecting the Dave Filoni one, and that would be the one that would kind of complete this whole arc with Mando and Ahsoka.
Oh, the end game style movie.
Yeah, so 2026. So I mean, we may only get one more season. I mean, if they're gonna wait 2 years again to produce, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping we at least get 2 more seasons. But
I think 4 is enough. Finish it off in 4, and then maybe tell a little bit more in Ahsoka season 2, and then take it to the big movie.
Yeah, I'm also wondering if we're ever going to get Boba Fett too. I mean, that show just did so poorly. I don't know. If they're going to waste.
I don't think there's any place for him to be in this season. So
yeah.
Quick Draw says Moff Gideon is definitely getting eaten by the Mythosaur next episode.
Yes. So that was the Mythosaur we saw in this episode, right?
I don't know. Was it? Where?
I don't know. I mean, I assumed, but I'm like, I didn't realize it was that big. Like, that thing was huge. Like, it was a Godzilla.
Where? That thing that they fought?
The thing they fought, the thing that came out of the rocks.
Oh, no, that's not the Mythosaur.
You don't think so?
No. They've been building the creatures bigger and bigger and bigger every episode. If you notice, we had flying birds, and then we had the alligator in the thing, and then we went to the next episode, and there was another big monster, and then they've been building the monsters up. So no, next week you will see the Mythosaur.
I wasn't sure. I mean, the way he kind of just came out, but then they just kind of like ran and didn't do anything. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. So I wasn't sure on that. I've never seen I never looked it up to see what it looked like or anything.
Yeah, no, it didn't have the tusks. The skull. Yeah, the emblem of the Mythosaur is the Mythosaur.
Yeah, that's a good point. I should have noticed that. Yeah, that's a good point. So these dudes they all agree to send him.
Yeah, they form the Secret Service, whatever you call it, the Sith Secret Service. I know there's a name for the group, and I can't remember the name of it.
Shadow Council or something like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Oh, epic scenes, absolutely. That's what Star Wars is to me. These kind of scenes with the holograms and some real big Easter eggs with characters.
Yep, this scene was awesome. It was, and it's like funny because it's not any action. It's all Giancarlo Esposito. Just amazing. I loved it. Then we get to go back here to I can't remember.
Shadow Empire.
Shadow Empire. Okay. Then we head back.
We've gone back to Navarro.
Navarro, right? And we see Carl Weathers, and we get to see what he did with IG-80. Oh, well, this is the first scene. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this shot. Let me see if I can get it for you guys. It's hard.
Very reminiscent of Independence Day with the alien coming over, and it covers everybody's sun out. A very similar shot. Yeah, I liked it.
Dude, it's so hard to like freeze frame. Like they make it so hard to do this. I'm trying to get.
Can you use the arrow keys on your keyboard to skip a couple of seconds while you're? You should just be able to use the arrows on your keyboard instead of your mouse.
It lets me skip scenes, but it's not like letting me go exactly where I want. Anyways, I was trying to get the scene with the it's before
with the ship above head. Yeah, I can see it when you're playing with it.
They had the big emblem. I thought that was really cool. So anyways, they come over and then they're all meeting, blah blah blah, and they finally kind of like decide they're gonna reunite. And you got Vizsla and you got Bo-Katan here.
Awkward scene, very tense.
Oh, it was very awkward, and they all take their helmets off. That was pretty funny. And Mando's kind of
pissed them right off.
Mando's in the middle, like But so they decide to go ahead and go for it, and then we get to the amazing scene.
Kind of called it, but kind of didn't.
There we go.
I kind of called it last week, but I still think there's space for my thing to come true. There's IG-11.
That's a decent one. So IG-11 goes out like, who is it? Babu Frick. I mean, I don't know if it is Babu Frick. I mean, they never mention him by name, but I'm calling him Babu Frick. It goes controlling it. I mean, this was definitely teased a long time ago that they were going to do this. So that unfortunately sometimes those spoilers are correct. Because I did hear about.
I never heard this. I heard of the mask. I heard of Grogu having to wear a mask that would be like Iron Man. So I'm still hoping for that.
Yeah, I don't know, but this was teased, and I did. When I saw Babu, I'm like, oh, I know Grogu's going in there. So
yeah, it's epic. And the line, Babu gets out and he goes past and he goes, "No squeezy." Dude, I've played that over and over like 10 times.
Bad baby.
Yeah, bad baby, no squeezy.
What's up, Umpty? Umpty, I got your Jar Jar today, by the way. I sent you a picture.
Yeah, it's Krangu. Oh, quick, that's epic. Krangu.
Who's Krangu?
So Kang Kang is from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, isn't it?
Right.
So you've got Kang and Grogu.
Krangu. Yeah. Krang. It's Krang, right? Krang.
Yeah. Oh, that's epic. Still, like when he did that and he was walking around speaking. So did we ever think, when you said at the beginning of these breakdowns for this season, that you were probably expecting Grogu to speak? And he hasn't quite spoken, but he
he's
did
tried.
with this.
Yeah,
He did with this. It was like, no, yes. And it was still the voice of Tico Waititi, which was obviously really cool. So
bad baby. There's the meme. Bad baby. Oh my gosh, so funny. And then there he is. Oh, thought I had it. Oh my gosh. Kind of. That's not bad. So he's in there, walking around. He's like fumbling over some stuff, and So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was, again, I kind of, when I saw him come out, I'm like, yeah, that's what they're doing. So, but anyways,
it's IG-12 now. It's not IG-11. It's IG-12.
That's correct. It is IG-12. So that was pretty cool. I liked it. I thought that was fun.
So where do you think they're going with that? Do you think they're foreshadowing? Do you think that, obviously we find out later down in the episode things happen with Din? So do you think that Grogu can now go save the day because he's been saved all this time? Din's always saved him.
You mean like at this point in the episode?
No, I'm just saying, like, now that, because we don't get to see him do much with
Grogu,
IG, do we? But do you think going into the next episode, do you think he might save maybe Din Djarin, or do you think he's going to do stuff?
I don't know. I mean, he saved Din at least once that I can remember from the
he ran off on his he used the Force, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know.
But IG-11 is a deadly character, and if Grogu can figure out how to use it correctly, like he definitely needs to have a glass shield, because he could just get shot in the head.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to add something there, because it was a little strange walk. He's just walking around like wide open like that, and everyone in this episode got shot because they're all wearing Beskar,
Yeah. So I'm just wondering what might happen with that, because obviously I think they're foreshadowing that Din has always been the one to save Grogu, or Grogu's always been the one that needed saving because of his inability to do things because of being a child. And now I think that he's in this badass suit, he might actually be able to do something.
Then we get the typical goofy scene, like always, with the food, where he wants to eat the food and Din has to keep paying. Again, that's good fun.
And I've seen that fruit in a trailer for Rebels.
Maybe. I don't know what it's called, though.
Okay.
It's been a while. Yeah, possibly, though.
Yeah, very funny scenes.
Yeah.
Mando going, this isn't working for me. Proper dad moment.
So I saw...
Did you... Yeah, I was going to... Go ahead.
No, you know what I was going to say? Right.
Yeah, I think we're on the same brainwave.
Right here?
Yeah.
Do you think this was those bird things?
Yeah, squawk. Yeah, it's those things they took off.
I know, dude. I saw a meme of it. I'm like, wait a minute, is that really a bird? The word that
how many of you guys put it in the chat
just to eat them?
Quick, did you catch that? They were eating the big, massive birds that they saved from that previous episode.
Do you think that's really what it is, though?
Yeah, dude. What else is it? What else did they kill?
Right? And there's a better shot of it.
It's just at the start of this scene as it pans in.
It's so ridiculous. Oh, there it is, right there. There it is.
It's definitely them.
It does look like the bird. Let's make it bigger. So they
were like, these can't fit in the refrigerator system anymore. We need to cook them or they're going to go off.
Oh, what's wrong one? Here we go.
I loved it. It was brilliant.
That's my stupid thing's it's not working the way I want it to work. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm sorry. There it is. So you can kind of see it.
Yeah, Poppy Missouri says, what else would it be? We haven't seen them in a few episodes.
Yeah, they're all hanging upside down somewhere, probably.
It was the first thing I noticed when I was watching the scene. I was like, oh my God, they're eating those things. Yeah. And we predicted that they might be flying on them into battle and all sorts.
Yeah, they're not flying on them. That's for sure.
Then what's her name? Bo-Katan stands up and basically says, I'm going to take back Mandalore. I need volunteers from both sides so that we can make this fair and equal. And there was some very religious anecdotes within the episode. I don't know if you noticed.
Like what?
Like when they land on Mandalore, they walk in 2 by 2, just like the animals did to the Ark.
Mm-hmm.
Subtle things. Just very subtle things, very religious, and the Mandalorians go off a religious background thing like that. So, Anthony, please. Yeah, so subtle little things that I noticed.
So basically, yeah, so they choose on who they're going to go to, and then we get the sweet lift off. Oh, there's a really good shot right there of the Mandalorian thing on the ship.
Yeah, the mythosaur.
Yeah, the mythosaur. That's pretty cool. And then so basically the whole fleet comes, and so actually we skipped it because that last meeting was to agree that they're going to leave Navarro and go to Mandalore, and they're bringing everybody. That's right. Then they decide who's going to go, right? Or did they decide there?
No, I thought she decided there.
Because they decided to bring everybody, and then that's when oh yeah, you're right. Because then Bo-Katan shuttle flies down with the group that
and this is the point where I want to bring in my thing from earlier on with the continuity, because at this point, Bo-Katan goes down into the surface and she makes a note of a line saying that we will lose communications. All communications will be lost very soon. Correct. If that's the case, and Moff Gideon is also on this, how come Moff Gideon can have a meeting with all his friends if the communications don't work?
That's a good point. I don't know. Better Wi-Fi, maybe. I don't know. It's like Headless's Wi-Fi versus Ryan Milky's Wi-Fi.
Why, is mine bad right now?
No, just kidding with you, dude.
Oh. But no, that it was a real bad continuity issue for me, because she literally said that you can't communicate down there because of the issues with the planet. There was never able to communicate down there or not. So if that's the case, how is Moff Gideon transposing all of his holograms in to have his Humpty Dory meeting in the evening? You know, it doesn't make any sense. But it was cool. She was AT&T, he was Verizon.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, definitely true.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you can always count on me to keep up with the continuity.
Yeah, and that's an interesting spot there you caught. Like I said, unless he wasn't on Mandalore in the beginning, but I mean, I don't know where else he would have been.
Yeah, I think he was.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that he's already there. So
yeah, I think we see the hallway that the Mandalorians stupidly run down. It's a trap, but hey, we'll get to that.
It's a trap. Yeah, I don't know. That is interesting.
Yeah, sorry to ruin all of your amazing show. I just point these things. I see these things and point them out. You know,
I'm trying to think of a reason now. Like I mean, like in the Star Wars universe, is there better communications or not? But yeah, you're right. She does say we're going to lose. So who actually says that?
Who's does. The one,
Bo or Armor?
Bo.
Bo does.
As she goes down as she's flying the ship and she goes down. Thank you, Anthony. She flies the ship and she goes down, and that's what she says. We will lose communications right now, and then it goes all lightning and all crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It could just, I don't know. Let's see what Cook says. Maybe he's the one that 8's doing the disruption, and she. Oh well, there's that. So maybe somehow they have. Yeah. I'm trying to remember though, like when earlier in the season when Mando goes down there with R5 and Grogu. I mean, I don't think he tries to communicate. I mean, he does send Grogu.
No, he has to send Grogu back to the castle to get her.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, I don't get.
But I mean, because I'm trying to think because they could have called from the cockpit, right? But like, who's talking? I guess they could communicate with R5. Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. It's interesting that why would he be able to communicate with all of them?
That's why I posed the seed at the beginning. Where is Moff Gideon in this scene? Because he's making communications. there's a lot of communications. There's a lot of Wi-Fi signals going through that property. You know, and I just want to. Very good point. But let's move on. Let's keep going.
I kind of want to type this into Google right now.
Make one of your AI videos about it.
Yeah, I'm making an AI video maybe. All right. We see them flying through. all the crazy weather.
Good conversation about the Siege of Mandalore. Some of them were saying that I was there. I remember those days. Yeah, very good scenes. And there was 12 Mandalorians.
There we go.
And they all go 12 plus Grogu. Yeah, and they all go 2 by 2.
Yep.
Very good shot.
There you go. And I mean, basically, what happens is they get this big ship that comes kind of scorching through them, toward them. This is a interesting looking. I mean, I don't know. You're using this on a rocky planet. Like, I'm not sure how that works because I feel
sand.
Like it's got skis, but I mean, it's still pretty rocky. Look at the background. I mean, you got I mean, what is there, a giant road they constructed out of sand? I mean,
but it's like sand that's turned to glass because when you heat up sand, it turns to glass. So, dude, I was taken straight out of it when I watched this scene because I've watched Willow, and it was exactly the same thing for me. It was. I'm sorry. It was you could run on it. Why was there a ship running across this thing when you could just run it? It didn't make any sense, but it was still cool. But yeah, I thought it was pretty much spit an image to the ship in Willow, and then I actually Googled the ship in Willow, and I was like, oh no, it's actually tiny, the one in Willow.
It is. I just I look at the ship, and I'm just trying to think of, okay, so I don't know. I mean, I always thought it was more of a rocky planet, like overall. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and I thought like they used to have like jungle and trees and that kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe those huge wings, dude. I just feel like it'd be hard to navigate around. But I don't know. Whatever. It is.
You know what it is? You know what it is? If you imagine Captain Hook's pirate ship, okay? From Peter Pan.
Yeah.
And then squish the photo in.
A little bit.
So what I was expecting this to do at certain scenes when it was going through the water or through whatever it was that it was going through, I thought, how cool will this be now if these long things on the side shoot up and it's got sails and it starts to fly? I thought that would be pretty cool if it came off and it started to fly in the air, Yeah. I thought that like a pirate ship, it's like 1 minute it's a boat, the next minute it's a plane. It would have been really, really cool, but yeah, it didn't last very long.
Yeah, it was strange. Well, anyways, it ends up being more Mandalorians that have been living there the entire time. All these dudes. So they know Bo-Katan, so they kind of agree to help and all that.
Because she's royal, right? She's got a royal name.
Yep, because they know the name. Then they know her too. Some of them been there. Let's talk about Sasha Banks' character, dude. What does she do? She does nothing in this show. It's so strange, man.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for her to actually do something. She doesn't even have lines. I don't know. It's just strange. You have all these.
She had the one line about how they'll do anything for the right price.
Yeah, whatever. It's weird. I don't know.
It's just a cameo.
Yeah, I guess.
I think there was more into it than in the wrestling world as well, because she'd just left WWE and she was doing more outside work, and this just so happened to be the thing that she was doing. Yeah. And then she never went back to WWE. So.
And then we get the scene. This was a good scene.
Was it?
You didn't like it?
No.
Why not?
I thought it was cheesy. Why is he telling her that he's following her? I don't get it. Like, I don't even think he is. I still think she looked guilty. Sorry to be all over the place with what I'm trying to say, but she looked guilty when he was saying what he was saying to her. She definitely looked like she wasn't worthy of the words that she was hearing from him. Maybe
really?
Maybe through her true intentions or whatever that might be. But yeah, when I watched that certain scene and he says the things that he says, which are very nice and very sweet and very heartfelt, I don't know. The impression from her I got was that she felt very guilty hearing it. And I just didn't enjoy the scene.
I mean, it might just be the way that the Darksaber got back to her. I mean, I hate it. I mean, we both hated the way that happened. We at the end of the last episode, like I thought it was terrible, really. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I don't know. I think I kind of liked it because I don't know, in the back of her mind, she thinks that he's still torn because he still doesn't take his helmet off. And I just thought that this reinsurance for her was good. I don't know. It's interesting. We have different opinions on that. I don't know. Chat. I mean, what did you guys think about the scene?
I personally don't think he's going to take his helmet off again. Like, don't even think about outside real world news with Pedro Pascal. Just think about the storyline of Mandalorian season 3. He atoned himself.
Yeah.
He went and did all that stuff. He's not going to take his helmet off. I don't think he's ever thinking that he's ever going to ever again. He's now part of that, and I think he's going to keep the Mandalorian. Din Djarin will keep that legacy of the original, religious Mandalorian, because I don't believe the show is about him anymore. I think it's even been confirmed that they're trying to go down a path of introducing other characters through the world of Mandalorian, and it's not just so much him. But yeah, no, I'd be very interested to know what the chat think about this scene going forward.
I mean, it's really, man, that's interesting. See, here's the thing. If next episode, okay, so let's say next episode, let's say the armor is the other spy, all right? I can definitely see that then he does no longer follows that creed. And maybe there's the reason why she was so into it, and I know it's the creed, because I don't know, man. Now I'm confused. I don't know. I think he'll take his helmet off if the armor ends up being the spy. I think he takes his helmet off, and I think he's done with it. And you may see all the Mandalorians take their helmets off.
That I can get on board with that. I could get on board with that. I could get on board with him being the last one to take his helmet off, though. Like watching everyone around him, seeing all the faces that he's worked and saved with, and then him making that choice at the end. But yeah, I don't know. Then you go into the real world and think, are they even going to secure Pedro Pascal back for another season? I don't think it seems likely, personally. So we'll see going forward. But yeah, no, that's a very good point. I didn't even think about that. He could, if she is the spy, the armorer, then
I mean, it gives
she sent him on that. She sent him on that mission to atone himself.
It gives them the ability to possibly right the situation with Pedro, not the Mandalorian, because then he's allowed to take his helmet off and everyone knows who he is. That's the only thing I can think of. Like it would give them that out. But the way it was done was a little sloppy, because like I said, it almost doesn't make sense to a point, because why was he so upset with it in the beginning of the episode? Like if he doesn't show that anger about them combining groups, like he had to have known that's what they were doing. So it's like he hasn't even spoken to her. Because he would have known this information.
Yeah, because, so that could be a good twist if she isn't really the armorer and it's really somebody else, and then he could be like, "Well, I went and did all this thing for you under the religious name of our creed, and you're not even the real person." So I none of that was real, and none of that was, all of it was fake. And then he removes his helmet because that could work too. So you got two ways, but both work with the armorer either being the spy or actually not being the armorer and being somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what they do, and then we get the big guy non. Where is he at? He's over here somewhere. Oh well, we get these two jackasses.
Chess.
Yeah, they're playing wherever. I don't know if I don't think it's Sabak, but
it's not chess. No, it's marbles where you jump back and forth.
Yeah, and then they get in a fight because they're both morons. I mean, I'm just so sick of this whole thing with them.
And then they foreshadow something at the end of that fight, I think.
What do they foreshadow?
Well, who makes peace? Who stops the war?
Oh yeah, right. That's what I'm trying to get right now. I mean, you can kind of see Grogu there. Oh, there it is. So Grogu just steps in. And he's like, "Halt!" And then I love the line that Bo-Katan goes, "Oh, did you teach him that?" And he's like, "I did not." Or I was like, "Oh," or no, I think she goes something like, "Oh, no." Maybe she does say, "You taught him well," and he's like, "No, I didn't teach him that."
No, because that's a Jedi trait, peace and not fighting and stuff like that. So yeah, very, very cool. And I think that's a massive, massive foreshadow right there that Grogu will be the leader of Mandalore.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's what they're probably doing, dude. I like I said, I've said it for a while that I think the name of the show, The Mandalorian, is really it's really about Grogu. I mean, this season, like I said, Mando hasn't done much. I mean, Grogu hasn't done much either, honestly. But like this right here is probably more than what Mando's done.
But yeah, he's done more than Mando. You know, he saved,
Yeah.
like you said, he saved Mando's life, and now he's in the IG-11 suit or IG-12.
Yeah. He's just kind of in the background, unfortunately. You know, it's weird. Oh, you know, it's funny you say that. I thought that was going to happen at the end of this episode. I really like when he was trapped.
I thought he was dead.
You thought they were going to kill him right there?
Yeah, I thought he was dead. I thought this is Game of Thrones style. Kill him right now and shock everyone, please. And it didn't happen. So
yeah, but I thought he was taking the helmet off in this episode. Yeah, we'll see. And then we get the amazing the mythosaur shot. Or not? It's not a mythosaur. It's whatever we think this creature is. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a lizard creature. And it was really cool.
His huge tail smashes it.
Comes down, it smashes the boat ship thing up into pieces. What made me laugh with that scene as well is there was, if you watch how many Mandalorians are flying through the sky, and then it goes to another shot, and there's another 100 Mandalorians. It's like there was never that many on the boat in the first place.
I know.
So funny. I was literally watching it. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 now.
Well, and also, like, you see some of them get hit. Like, you assume some of them died there, too. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely see some of them get hit. But, and then they just magically run into a cave. I thought that was a little odd, too. But whatever. And it happens to be the right cave. So, I mean, that, again, it just seems like a plot device to move him forward and make him get off that ship. Because, I mean, all of a sudden, the correct area is that right there. You know what I'm saying? It was a little strange for me. Like, oh, you just happen to run into the exact area Moff Gideon wanted you guys to go to. And so I don't know. I mean, what did you think?
Well, they were looking for the forge, weren't they? They were taking them.
Well, they were, but I mean, like, but it just happened to be there.
They didn't technically get here.
They didn't technically.
Well, they're not at the forge here, are they? They're not at the forge.
No, well, no, they are. Because they mentioned this used to be the old forge. They mentioned that right when they walk in. I don't know exactly what scene it was, but they said this is the old forge. Like I guess they were that close.
Right.
I don't know. I just thought it was
the place where you burn you melt the Beskar and make the armor.
Yeah, this is it.
Fire.
Yeah, I think this is all what it is. Like it's all down here,
okay.
And then yeah, it was just all destroyed. I don't know. I just thought it was like pretty convenient that they happened to already be there, and then this huge beast attacks. I don't know. Because I mean, it seems like they stopped the ship because of the beast, not because they found the location. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, they found the location because they jumped off the ship before it was broken, and then they just so happened to come across the cave.
So I don't know.
Then they get ambushed. Then they get ambushed by the white stormtrooper guys.
Yeah, and that's what this next part is right here. And then they all have Beskar armor on.
Love this so much.
So here's my question: Why this? So the why in the prequels, right? Or not the prequels, the sequels. Why are those stormtroopers not wearing Beskar armor then? If Beskar, I mean, if they were able to do all this, like you're telling me that it just, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I see.
I know it's hard to come by, but like
these white flying jetpack are in Clone Wars as well. Apparently, I heard that the white flying jetpack baddies are in Clone Wars, and I was like, "How does that work?"
I don't remember now.
Okay, but yeah, they're cool. I don't. But you bring up a good point. If they've got Beskar armor, why haven't all the stormtroopers in the sequels?
Yeah, I mean, if this is something new, then fine. But like,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, if this is something new, fine. Like, I was about to say, why didn't the stormtroopers for the Emperor wear Beskar? You know, but obviously they see. I don't know, man. See, this is why it's all strange because how did Moff Gideon even know? I mean, dude, I'm telling you, maybe the armor is bad and she's just working for them. I don't know. Because it does make a lot of sense. Because then she can show them how to do it, how to forge it. She told them where it was. Dude, I don't know. Unless there's another spy, and I don't know who it would be.
And she is also the one that talks about Death Watch and how Death Watch ended, and maybe these are the remainders of Death Watch.
Yeah.
All of Moff Gideon's crew. Maybe they're all the other Mandalorians that are now,
What?
because she
So
brings that up.
so what do you think? What do you? I don't know. Like, part of me was like, well, maybe. See, I always thought Paz Vizsla might have been a bad guy. So maybe,
Yep.
but I was going to say, like, well, what if he's not really dead? But the problem is that
I had that thought.
nobody was watching the fight. They had all left before the patrolling guards got there. So that doesn't make any sense either.
So nobody also saw him die.
Nobody saw him die, but like no one was watching. So why would they even go through with it? That doesn't make sense.
Because he was the big baddie that could fight the Praetorian Guards.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if Paz Vizsla was actually a spy in part of the Empire, why would they go through and fight if no one was even watching at that point? Like, no one was in the room when he had knocked all the troopers down in the white gear, right? When they knocked I don't know if they're ARC troopers, I can't remember their name, but when he knocks them all off the cliff basically, and he kind of takes a knee, there's all the people in that one room have already escaped. So it's like, what's the point of going through that fight if he's actually with them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good point.
So I think that my little theory there was debunked as well. What's up,
Okay.
Robbie? The other thing I want to say about this scene, which I absolutely loved, and I don't know, I wish they would move forward with this kind of stuff, because I'm so sick of just these stormtroopers just getting blasted and they're dead with armor on. Like, I'm so over that. I love the fact that they actually had to like maneuver around them and actually shoot them in like the areas where there's no Beskar. Loved it. We saw some hand-to-hand combat. Like, there's not enough hand-to-hand combat in Star Wars. It's all blasters and lightsabers. We need more hand-to-hand, and I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, I loved it. I don't even like the line that they shout out. They're wearing Beskar armor, and it was like, oh, awesome.
Yeah. And I do like how everyone was getting shot. Like, Bo-Katan got shot in the chest. I'm like, well, dude, luckily they got that, because you'd be dead right now.
Like, how quick did you pick up onto the fact that it was a trap? Like, when they were chasing them, I was do not chase the remaining two that are trying to get you to chase them. It's a freaking trap. It's like hallway scene.
Always scene, yeah. So Mando sends something, and Mando, he goes, Grogu, you're gonna have to keep up, and he just starts running, and of course they capture him. He gave it the old college try with the flamethrower and everything like that, but I'm pretty sure that the flame does not matter, because I don't think it hurts Beskar, right? I mean, if a lightsaber they can't cut through it, I'm imagining that a fire can't.
It's just hard to watch.
Yeah, they got him locked up. I did, though, for a second. Like, I'm like, because with all the rumors we're hearing, I almost thought that maybe. But see, the Darksaber was a bow, so I'm like, I couldn't believe that they were gonna like just kill him. But I was thinking the same thing.
I'm a Game of Thrones fan, as you know, and my head was going, take off his helmet, walk up to him, and squeeze his eyeballs through his head. That would have been the best ending for Mandalorian ever. How cool would that have been? I would have been freaking out.
So I wonder if we're gonna get like, because Moff Gideon comes flying down in his sweet suit.
Yeah, they're gonna sell Funko Pops, Black Series figures.
Oh, dude,
even I want one.
I need an SDCC exclusive of this right here. That's what I need.
I actually want the wearable helmet for this. Like, I've seen all the others, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. But
dude, you'll get a Lego set of it. You'll get the Hasbro Black Series figure. You'll get the vintage. You get the Funko Pop. You'll get like 16 variations. You get chrome. You got flocked. They'll give you whatever you want. But I want the basic regular. I want the first one to be an SDCC exclusive. That's what I want. So yeah, Robbie said he knew it. Yeah, that's a good point, because there were the lights already on. Yeah, that's a good point. But so we see him fly down, and I love that he mentions that he is in the process of creating an all Dark Trooper army with Beskar. So that's what I want to see, dude. Because I need to see some Luke done too. But I don't know how are you gonna beat them. I mean,
You don't want to see Luke in that scene because Luke's going to go bye-bye.
I know, like how like
12
with the
Dark Troopers walking around like that.
yep. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with the lightsaber on those guys? Be interesting.
Yeah.
And then he reveals who he is, obviously. And I did really think that he might have had a chance to kill him here. He should probably like, why would you not kill him? Like take him to the whatever
It was
room,
just, it was
the
just
detention
perfect.
room.
Yeah. Everyone that loved him was watching through the glass. It could have been one of those scenes where everyone was like, no, because you can't get to him. It would have been perfect storytelling, but it's Disney. They don't want to kill anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that they take him to the detention room. Okay,
I can't wait to see the super fan edits that people make of their versions, because I want to see somebody squeeze his eyeballs out. Did you get the symbolism of this as well? They hang upside down like bats.
Yeah, and these are the same that we see in the sequels. So they've already started making these type of ships, and we get the bombers. At least somewhere of those bombers. I'm sure I'm not going to be able to hit it. But anyways, the bombers are there. Trust me.
Go back to the Mandalorians, yeah.
The Mandalorians, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think that, I personally think that the remaining ones on his side are the ones that ran away that they spoke of. How cool was his badass Tommy gun? I like the real cool little detail, how it got hotter and hotter and hotter. And
yeah, that was. I thought I had it. Man, I just can't get the bombers.
Can't you press play for a second? Because would it switch? There you go.
It's right there. So I was actually a little. Yeah, it's probably too far back. I just the bombers are cool looking. There you go, right there. There you go, right there. So there's the bombers. Those are cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. And then they take Bo away, or not Bo, sorry. They take Din away, and then they decide to shut. Now this was strange. Like all of a sudden, I can't even see. All of a sudden, they just start shooting the glass. Like they already know they can't they can't break it. I thought it was weird. I mean, unless it was just to distract, because then Bo-Katan takes the Darksaber and cuts a huge hole. So why do you think they didn't cut a hole in the front and just try to attack? Like, or I guess they would just get gunned down or what? I mean, they had Beskar armor on. They could have. No,
I don't know. Good point. I didn't think of that. Good point.
It's not like they're going to go up there and try to grab the blade. But I guess if you make a hole and you have to only go in one at a time, I don't know.
Yeah, and I also think that the hole that she made that hole purposely small so that we were never going to get past her anyway.
Yeah,
even if he decided not to stay back, Yeah.
But yeah, so then so she cuts the hole. I mean, I don't know if I can get that or not. I mean, there's it's being so wonky today. Like I on my screen I see the hole, but like when I let go of the pause, it doesn't want to show it. And you can see the hole behind. I messed up. Yeah, you can. Not really. Anyways, there's a hole behind her. She cuts. Yeah, and then there's a good shot of the gun. I thought that was cool because he's like just unloading on these guys and literally not even killing them until he gets to hand-to-hand combat. And then he starts throwing them down the pit or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, just throwing them off the edge, and then
and then we get the patrolling guards straight from straight from the Last Jedi. So what did you think?
Straight from Snoke's side.
Yeah, what did you think about these guys? I know you told me you weren't a fan.
Them. No, I don't. I did. Yeah, I love them. I wasn't a fan of this design. I love the style of them. I like the redness of it all. I think it looks really cool. I like that they have different weapons, but for me, the helmet didn't work for this episode. The helmets on this have changed from what they are in the Last Jedi.
They did change them, and so you know what? So here's a little information about this. So the helmet, it's more like the helmet that the guards wear for Palpatine when those guys are in all red. The Imperial, I think they're just called Imperial Guards.
The Praetorian Guards.
Well, no. The Imperial Guards were shown in Return of the Jedi, And
Okay.
if you remember, when Vader brings Luke to the Emperor, they're kind of standing guard there, and he's like, "You guards leave us," and they turn around and go to the back of the whatever they're standing by the doorway. So that helmet style is more like that. And it's almost, it looks a little Mandalorian too. If you look right here, you can kind of see it. So it's almost a blend of Mandalorian and not the Petroleum, the Imperial Guards. And then I think later on they changed the helmets, like Kylo would change the helmets or whatever. So I just think it shows evolution of the character where they're not the same over the next 20 years.
Yeah. And I also like the connection to real life as well, because Praetorian Guards are from the Roman Empire, and they were actually did the Roman emperors and the kings and queens actually had Praetorian Guards that would look after and protect people of royalty and people of high name. So they took that from real world aspect and put it into a Star Wars kind of canon, which is really, really cool. And yeah, Robbie B. Poppins letting us know the Praetorian Guards are way more sinister in this episode than they are in the movies. I agree. Yeah, they seem to enjoy sticking the knives into this dude.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he doesn't have a lightsaber, so it would change it up a little bit. The problem with that is that it's so choreographed. In the Last Jedi, it's over choreographed. This seemed like a real fight.
Yeah, it did feel like a real fight. The one in the Last Jedi felt more like a blockbuster. Remember this scene kind of thing,
Yep, that's exactly right. Yep. And then there's your kill shot, pretty much.
Yeah, very, very sinister. They seem to enjoy it.
And that comes straight out of Game of Thrones, right there. The way that some of those guys get killed, because that's a killing shot. Like you go right to the shoulder blade.
Yeah, I loved it, and obviously Disney have added the electrification element to hide the point of impact, I'm guessing, and stuff like that, which is still a cool way of doing it.
Yeah, I didn't have
blood coming out. There was no blood or anything like that. So.
Yeah, like you knew you weren't going to see blood spewing, so I don't think there's ever been blood in Star Wars except for maybe like on a punch.
Yes, Robbie.
And then
exactly. I feel your comment. This scene was visceral to me. And that's what Game of Thrones is.
Oh yeah. That's what you want. I mean, that's what we've been begging for. This was a great death. I mean, I never really loved the character. I almost found the character a little bit annoying sometimes, especially in Book of Boba Fett. But yeah, I mean, this was good. It was
kind of inevitable, though, right?
He was kind of what?
It was kind of inevitable that it was going to happen, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, some of these guys are going to have to die anyways. But yeah, it was good. I thought it was a good episode. It was probably the best episode of the season. And again, that's what happens when you bring back Moff Gideon. You get your best episode. So
yeah, but look at it. We were introduced to his kid. We get to meet we get to see the face of his child, the masking of his child, the savior of his child. Now we're going to see the uprise of his child following the Paz Vizsla name, because, Tar Vizsla was the Jedi Mandalorian, and then Paz Vizsla was family, and now he's died doing probably an honorable thing.
Yep.
And then his son's now going to rise. So yeah, I do personally think it was always inevitable because we were introduced to his child.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if they do something with that character down the road. Like, I don't know how much he's gonna play into the Mandalorian seasons, because he's still a kid, but like down the road, maybe do we get another Vizsla and some other lore, maybe 10 years from now when he's like maybe 16 or 17 or something like that.
They could just recast somebody tomorrow and say it was him, but it's 10 years down the line,
Yeah. Robbie says he gives this episode 100 out of 10.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I would give it like a 9. It was solid. I liked it a lot. It's not my favorite episode. I still like the Luke one the best. I still like Ahsoka's episode, but this is definitely in the top 4. I mean, I think for sure. I think this was really good. This actually might be my third favorite. Actually, now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I do think that what this is doing is very similar to Clone Wars, and I think eventually there will be some unique way to watch this, and it will all fit better. I genuinely think that that's how it's going to happen. I don't think you watch it from 1 to 8. I think you watch 1, 2, 7, 8.
Yeah.
because this is like a 2-part finale.
Yeah.
So
I
I think that's what you do.
Yeah, that last episode for me, I just will probably never watch it again because
Yeah, no, neither
that
will I.
was probably my least favorite episode of Mando ever. I could not stand it. It just didn't feel right. So,
Mhm.
but yeah. Anyways, all right. Well, anything else before we get out of here? Been on for over
Yeah.
an hour.
Quick Draw says Paz Toretto family lived his life quarter parsec at a time.
Damn right. There you go. I love it.
Yeah, no, epic scene, dude. Epic scene. Absolutely loved it. I just wanted to mention one thing before we get out of here because I noticed it in the thing. Moff Gideon says to his group of merry men, "You're the one obsessed with clones and all this stuff," and I'm like, "Well, hang on a minute. You're secretly doing it too."
Yeah.
So I personally think that Moff Gideon is trying to make Snoke. And the other guys are trying to bring back Palpatine with with Project Resurrection or whatever they called it.
Yeah. So, do you think that Gideon knows that they're trying to bring back Palpatine through
Yeah,
Snoke?
and I think Gideon's trying to bring back Snoke so that he has a force using someone that he can work with.
Because remember, supposedly Palpatine was part of him was in Snoke or something. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's what the way it's explained.
Hey, it's gonna be interesting, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I do find it interesting to see how the First Order became something. I don't know. It just for me, it's always going to be I know how it ends too, and that's what's always so disappointed. So unless they can really switch up some stuff, I don't know to make it better. I don't know how you make it better. I really don't. I don't know what you possibly do with Luke to make him go to that. I mean, the whole point that Luke would even try to strike down his nephew, it's just weird. That kind of ruined it. Like it's just that's not even in Luke's character to even do that. It has nothing to do. And like again, maybe they'll show something. Maybe he just doesn't trust people at some point, and that was part of it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's all we can do is just wait.
I'm super excited, and we're going to be back here again next week, same time, same place, and we're going to be talking about the finale. And I can't wait to just have it in my head and just know how it's finished or where it's going to finish. Because
I hope we get something big. I really do. It's
going to be a big juicy cliffhanger, and it's going to be annoying.
Yeah, it probably is going to be a big cliffhanger. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. He's trying to he's trying to be the next Vader. I mean, he dresses like him and everything else. I get it. Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna die.
Would Gideon even know who Vader was? Would he have even have seen him, like met him? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Yeah. I mean, he would have been alive. He's probably about the same age as Anakin would have been, really. That's the thing. It would be nice for like a little backstory of how did like Moff Gideon even become all this? Like, was he just always like, like think of Grand Moff Tarkin? Okay, maybe he was just on one of the ships. He ran one of the ships, and after the second Death Star blew up, he decided he wanted to try to take over for the Empire. I don't know. It could be as simple as that. That he was just on his own ship. We just never saw him.
Yeah.
So, because I believe that even though I'm trying to think, Grand Moff Tarkin was on the Death Star, but see, we don't even see. It's funny because we don't even see Star Destroyers in the original Star Wars. All we know is the Death Star and TIE fighters. That's all we know. Those are the only things we see from the Empire. We don't get all the other stuff until Empire Strikes Back. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if the Moffs actually run a Star Destroyer because now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, I guess there's got to be more than one Moff. I guess. Research time. I don't know. Research time. Yeah, Robbie. Well, yeah. If you're able to be on it, at 8:00, you and Dan are more than welcome. So I know we have talked about having both you guys on. If you guys want to come on and talk, yeah, I'll just let me know on Instagram. Let me know if you guys can do it, and I'll make a group chat, and we'll get you guys up here. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Be fun. All
Finale
right,
party, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. I think we're done. I guess. Yeah. Well, we started our
Clone Wars
Clone Wars reaction.
breakdowns.
So the first one was dropped today on my channel. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's edited up a little bit because copyright and all that.
Join the Patreon, and you don't need to deal with that stuff.
Yeah, and if you want to join my Patreon, you're more than welcome. And it's $5 a month, but you get every episode of the Clone Wars that we're breaking down, and there's none of it's edited. So if you don't even have access to Clone Wars, that's an easy way to get it. Plus, you get to see me and Ryan's face the whole episode, so that's exciting.
And our visceral reactions when things happen, and I'm having fun with it. Like,
yeah,
Wally, I just seen Wally in an episode the other day. Like, so Headless just dropped his video. You're going to see the next episode will be Rookies, and that will be on mine on Saturday, and then
Monday on mine, and Tuesday on Ryan's, and rinse and repeat for about 8 weeks. It's going to take us 8 weeks to go through this. We're not watching every episode though, so it's about half, I guess. It's about half.
So Saturday Lego as well.
Yeah, and then Saturday Lego, absolutely. Yep. All right, my man, we are out of here. Thanks everybody for popping in for a few minutes, hanging out. Can't wait for next week. It's gonna be awesome. So
this is the way.
This is the way. All right, everybody, stay milky, keep those heads on, and we'll see you guys in the next video.